Stunning Talbot Jensen Interceptor. In sweeps the majestic Citroen DS. Lovely little Wolseley 1500 in black. This is a long rad car. The early cars had a slightly shorter rad. Super little GT6. And this stunning 3 litre CSL. Really stylish looking car. 179.9 miles. What a beautiful interior.
Thank you.
Morning all. Well, you join us at Gawsworth Hall in sunny Cheshire, well, slightly overcast Cheshire, for the annual classic and vintage car gathering. We came here last year for the first time in many years, so we thought we'll definitely be back again in 2024. We're expecting a fine turnout of cars. Quite what the weather will do is slightly open to speculation, but we'll just do the best we can. But to begin with, let's film some of the arrivals.
Good morning.
Look at that beautiful Lamborghini Islero. Fantastic parking up next to the Maserati Merak. This is probably my favourite location for videoing proper old cars, like that Lotus Elan. The lovely Hillman Minx California. Pair of E-types, both Series 2s.
Morning, nice to see you. Morning. Oh, coffee? Yeah. Very good, carry on up. Watch your back, nice to see you. Yes, splendid, straight on up, nice to see you. Morning, nice to see you.
Stunning Talbot. Isn't that just beautiful? Followed by Lancia Fulvia and the mighty Mustang from 1966. Stunning Jensen Interceptor. What a beauty that is. The Jensen SP, no less, the 6-pack. That was the souped up version of the Jensen Interceptor. Still with a big Chrysler V8. Lovely Riley Tourer. This is just the perfect setting for cars like this. Absolutely beautiful. Lots of vintage cars usually turn up at this meeting. Ferrari and Porsche. The mighty T-Bird, the Ford Thunderbird, circa 1964. That's a convertible version of the T-Bird. Wonder if that roof will be going down today. We'll see. Mini with rally chopper on the roof. Oh. Sunbeam Alpine. We've already seen a couple of Tigers arriving. We'll have a proper look at those a little bit later. And behind that, a really nice Mark 1 Austin Mini, no less. Stingray. What's this beauty here? Chevrolet BelAir of 1955. What an incredible wagon that is. That's followed by a TR6. Very nice too. Triumph Stag.
Excellent, thank you.
67 Porsche. Is that a 912? It is indeed. The 4-cylinder air-cooled. Triumph TR5 with Surrey roof in place today. Keep the draft out. What a beauty that is. That sounds and looks absolutely stunning. What a great looking car that is. Fixed head Lotus Elan behind that. Morris Traveller, ex-army, I think. What do we have here? Is this a little standard or is it a Hillman? That's a standard. MG. Super little Wolseley. Is it a Wolseley 8 or a Wolseley 9? Not quite sure, but what a beautiful little car. Oh, look at that, Jensen 541. Austin Power fiberglass bodywork. Next up in the line of cars arriving here at Gawsworth Hall today. Beautiful little Vauxhall Victor. We've spoken to the gentleman that owns this one at Woodford at the Avro Heritage Museum. It's good to see that one and a really smart Austin 1100 there. In sweeps the majestic Citroen DS, gliding, whispering by. Open top Aston, the DB7. We've got a special here. Next up, a trio of MGs, headed by an MGA Roadster with K9 co-pilot. Then we've got the MG RV8, MGB GT on an H plate. Ooh, and there are yet more pouring in. Got a powder blue MGB Roadster here, chrome wire wheels, got a rubber bumper MGB GT on the T plate, so about 1977-ish. An MGTF or a pair of MGTFs behind that. The later cars, the updated versions of the MGF. Apologies if I'm sounding a bit croaky. Behind that, white GT, looming in its mirrors, lovely dark black Triumph Stag. Magnificent Wolseley here. This could be pre-war, it could be just post-war. I'll have to try and remind myself what that is. Maybe a 12 horse or a 14. Stunning Bristol behind that. What a cracker that is. You do get some beautiful cars at this event that you just don't see at any of the other classic car shows that we go to. Look at that, very bonny little Allegro there on the T-plate with BL special tuning mud flaps no less, and a Rover 22 SC. Bit of Roots Group action now with this little Hillman from the early 1970s. Now, I've seen this one, well, I've spoken to the gent who owns this one, but I can't remember where that was now. So is this a Hillman Minx or is it the Hillman Hunter? Same shape, the old Arrow series car. This one on aftermarket alloy wheels, JBM alloy wheels. Or JBW even. Yeah. Let's have a look at the back, let's cheat. Hillman Hunter, there we go, the 1500 DL. Lots and lots of cars pouring in now, which is always great to see. The Austin 7 Ruby, very nice, lovely original registration number. What a great car that is. Very, very nice user that is. So what date's that, about 36, 37? Somewhere around there I would have thought. Two-tone Triumph TR6 behind that. Triumph Stag behind that. And in the background we have a TVR. Austin Healey Sprite there, followed by a rubber bumper MGB. Lovely Triumph Roadster there. And the Fraser Nash BMW. Wow, beauty that is. That sounds glorious. I know Harley's going to approve of that one. Lovely flat rod Morris, circa 1930, the Morris Cowley, beautiful car. And here a 66 Carman gear no less, very swish indeed. Burbling into view, an MGB GT V8. Beautiful Rolls-Royce Landaulet. Alpha Spider, and another magnificent pre-war Rolls-Royce, followed by an MGTF. The Rover follows VW, lovely two-tone P4, and a Jaguar C-Type replica. What a glorious bit of kit that is. The Rover P5 Coupe, the 3 litre. Jaguar XK140 fixed head coupe. MGB Roadster behind that. Great pair of British classics there. Ford Zodiac Mark III. Fantastic fin-tail Mercedes. Which model's this one?
It's the 220B.
220B.
The long fin tail.
Oh right, right. What year is this one?
1965.
65.
65 is a beauty. Ford Model A. Bullnose Morris. MGTF with hardtop, followed by the M100 series Lotus Elan, front wheel drive Elan, Triumph TR3A, enjoying the sunshine on this bank holiday Monday morning. Behind the Porsche, the Lotus Elan. Is that an Elan Sprint? They usually have the two-tone paint job like that. Yes, there we go. Got the lettering down the doors. So the Lotus Elan Sprint. Beautiful twin cam. This is all very, very civilised. Now, we've seen this one once or twice. The Invicta Black Prince. I think Harley did an interview with the owner of this one. He's owned this for many years, and I've seen this at shows going way, way back. Incredibly advanced car, twin plugs in each cylinder. Incredible bit of kit that is. Porsche. And then we've got the Austin Healey Sprite Mark 1 there, followed by an Aston Martin DB5 and another Lotus Elan. So, real variety of cars here. And so many that we hardly ever see. That's beauty, that is. What a lovely little car that is. I think I did an interview with the owner of this DB5 at one of the Avro Heritage meets a little while ago. He's owned that since the early 70s. And there's the Wolseley badge version of the Austin 1100. What a super little car that is. A Rolls-Royce Silver Spirit. Bentley Arnage. There's a Rolls Silver Shadow. It's on an R plate. It looks like a Shadow 1 with a slim bumpers. Got a Cobra replica, Welsh registered. And the R107 SL Mercedes behind that, and a bright yellow Triumph TR6. Alvis here. And the Vauxhall Victor, the FC, or the 101 as it was sometimes called. Porsche 356 Coupe. Very nice too, right-hand drive. TVR, Tasman, yep. X350 Jaguar, the XJ6, probably the 3 litre V6. Triumph Herald 1360. Ford Capri 2, it's a 2 litre S. Austin 7 box saloon. A little BSA, the BSA Scouts. Look at all the louvers in the side panel on the bonnet. The Bentley Midget with TR4A behind that, the Triumph TR4A.
I don't think they looked after it.
Lovely little Wolseley 1500 in black, MDX 565, Good to see the original reg still on these old cars.
We'll find it. Morning.
What's he seen? The Ford Model Y, the original Ford 8. This is a long rad car. The early cars had a slightly shorter rad. Well, that's really nice. 933cc, and that's followed by the good old Morris 1000 from 1967. The Morris Mini Minor, the Mark 1 Mini in Morris form. Very nice. TR4 in hot pursuit of the 911. One of the very early brass radiator Ford Model Ts. Very appropriate headgear. Little Riley Kestrel. Austin Maxi, quite a late one. Look at this incredible Chevrolet Corvair panel van. Air-cooled engine in the back, hence the grills in the back wing there. Wolseley 1885, or is that the 6? Is that the 6-cylinder car, I wonder? It is. The 6 followed by a Shadow 2, the Silver Shadow 2. Oh, it's the Bentley T2, and a beautiful Ponton Mercedes. Chevrolet 1965. A very upmarket Mark 1 Escort. This amazing little car. It's based on a Triumph, I believe. We've got an air-cooled 911 behind that. And the MG YA or YB, Y Series Saloon. That body shell is based on that of the Series E Morris. There's the local Ford 100E Prefect. Being pursued by an Austin A60 Cambridge. Fiat 124 Spider, very nice too. Magnificent Daimler, purrs in. Followed by two-tone Austin A35 van. Another magnificent pre-war Rolls Royce here. That's got some real presence, that one, hasn't it? What a magnificent car. So what's that, a Phantom perhaps? That is just glorious. The shape of the, especially the back, the curves around the back, just wonderful. Midget 1500 is pursued by Jensen Healey. And behind that, Interceptor, the Jensen Interceptor 2. Series 1 fixed head E-Type. Quite a number of Corvettes here. I seem to remember last year there was a really large club presence for the Chevrolets and indeed Triumph Stags. This little beauty is a Ford-based Falcon Caribbean. So fiberglass body shell, buy a Ford pop, the old sit up and beg Ford pop, throw the body away, and you could bolt that shell on, fit some tuning bits and bobs from aquaplane. The gentleman that owns this has had it a very long time indeed. If you check out the video I did at Gawsworth Hall in 2023, you might well see the interview that I did with him. Very unusual shade of green on the MG. Great little SAAB 96 V4, quite a late one. Wow, 3 litre CSL BMW, the lightweight race version of the E9 Coupe, TR6, Range Rover soft top. '70s Lotus, which one are we looking at here? The Eclat, I think. Yep, Eclat. Great little two-door Morris, complete with a running in sticker still on the front quarter light. You can just about see it, I think. Looks like a really nicely preserved car. Behind that, an XK150 fixed head coupe. Lovely car. Last of the original XKs before the E-Type came in in '61.
Morning.
Another Wolseley 1500, this one from 1964, a bit later than the black example we saw before.
That's what Daddy had.
Another Jensen Healey. Just another beautiful example of early Rolls Royce. The Leyland Princess. Oh. Look at this incredible Land Rover ambulance coming down this way. And still they come. What a wonderful assortment of pre-war cars. Oftentimes you go to these classic car meetings and there are so few pre-war cars, 20s, 30s cars, but today that is definitely not the case. Triumph Herald 1360 convertible. The V6 Morgan behind that. The D-bumper Triumph TR4. Great little A35 van. Left-hand drive. TR4 is followed by Triumph TR3, or 3A rather. There's a Panther, a mighty Buick, all the way from Pennsylvania. Super little GT6. It's a GT6 Mark II with earlier front bumper and bonnet. The V8 Porsche 928. Looming into view now, all 747cc of it, a beautiful little fabric bodied Austin 7 saloon. Room for three, just. Now this is a very, very early bullnose Morris, even earlier than the one we saw before. Look at the little lamps just on top of the wings. Complete with dicky seat in the back. But a classic Ford from the 1950s now, the Mark II Consul. Black Austin A35 two-door saloon. And the second Triumph Roadster of the day. Next up we have a vintage Star, and in fact this one lives just round the corner from us. With a stunning Bentley Singer 9 Coupe. Super little Morris Mini Minor here. If I remember correctly, it was actually Morris was the very first Mini, and the Austins followed shortly after. MGA fixed head, TVR Chimera, TVR probably a 350, yeah, 350i, another Chimera with slightly different front. Magnificent Bentley. A little Vespa. I think now is probably the time to start having a look around, and here we've got a gorgeous Vela set. Very nice too. That's just a beautiful. Is that a Venom Clubman? I know there was the Venom and the Venom Clubman, but the Clubman has the swept back downpipe and also the tacho drive which comes out the side casing here. So my hunch is a Clubman. And over here the Porsche 912 that we saw driving them before. Oh no, this is a 911, silly me, I was thinking of another car. There's the DB5, beautiful DB5 in long-term ownership with the gentleman that's owned and rebuilt this. He's owned it 55 years. Absolutely astonishing. And how about this Lamborghini? Like I said earlier in this video, you get some stunning cars that you just don't tend to see at other events. Turn out for this one. What an incredible machine. Alongside a Maserati Merak and the MG X-Power. Manoeuvring into place in front of the old hall. Ferrari Dino, no less. Let's go for a wander over here past the Ferrari in this stunning 3-litre CSL L for lightweight, lighter panels. I think they had thinner glass as well, but I could be wrong. But yeah, the ultimate evolution of the E9, certainly for road use anyway. And these form the basis of the touring car races of the 1970s. Absolutely astonishing car. These used to do battle with the mighty broad-speed prepared XJ12 coupes. And over here, a beautiful Invicta Black Prince, about 1946 or 47. Yeah, this is lovely. 1946, Wentworth Saloon, Charlesworth coachwork. What an engine. Separate distributors for each bank. So you got one Dizzy there, and one over the other side. But this is just a stunning car. I know Harley loves this one as well. Let's carry on our little walk around. There's a Cobra Porsche left-hand drive, the Renault Alpine, the A110. This is a car I'm thinking of, it's Spanish assembled, and next to that A great little 64 two-stroke Saab. The old bullnose Saab. Got a bit of a soft spot for these. If you've been on the channel a long time, you'll remember I did a video all about the bullnose van that I rescued in about 1990 or 91. These are great little cars, these are. Left-hand drive. Really successful in rallying. People such as Eric Carlson used to pilot these very successfully on, say, the Monte Carlo. And indeed, these also were very, very popular in rallying. Let's have a bit of a mooch down here. We've got vintage cars to the left of us. It's like the later supercars to the right. As this is the old classic car channel, we'll be looking at everything but prioritising the older cars here today. There's a beautiful bullnose Oxford. Isn't that just stunning? Box saloon Austin 7, bonnet up on the brass rad Ford. So this is an early one.
Probably 13 years.
There's the little Falcon Caribbean. Those are Bellamy wheels, so it's a Ford stud pattern, the Ford sit up and beg, Ford pop stud pattern, but those are Bellamy 15-inch wheels. They were very popular with special builders back in the day. You get your little Ford 10 engine and phone up Aquaplane and get a twin carb setup, fancy manifold, and aluminium cylinder head, of course the side valve Ford engine in these, and off you go. A very, very sporty looking little car, and you'd never guess at first glance that that owes its origins to a humble Ford pop. How cool is that? And there's that lovely fabric bodied Austin 7 box saloon. There's the Star, the Wolverhampton built Star. And the lovely Singer Coupe. This is the one we saw driving through town just a few days ago actually. This had been over to the local VSCC meeting, the Singer 9 Coupe. Lovely, lovely car. My granddad ran one of these many, many years ago. He had a Singer 9 Sports, and then he bought one of these. And Mum remembers travelling in the back of a car just like this. It was given away in the late 1960s, so where that car is now is anybody's guess. Let's have a look at some slightly later cars. The classic Corner over here, a couple of Jaguars, the E-Type, the XK120, the drop head coupe, not a roadster. This is a slightly more upmarket XK120 drop head, more substantial folding roof on these, proper wind-up windows, split screen still, of course. Lovely old upholstery in there. How inviting is that? Like super radio there. Isn't that just wonderful? A couple of little timing clocks on the dash over there.
Yes, because we could do anything with all here.
Let's go down the back down here, past the modern Ferrari. Got the Hillman just tucked away over here next to the Triumph Roadster, complete with dicky seat and extra folding rear screen raised, so we can see how that works. There's a couple of little seats in there. How amazing is that? A proper little screen. You've got the step on the end of the bumper thing here. But yeah, fantastic car. Lovely wooden dash on these as well. Really impressive looking car. Huge long bonnet. Lots of chrome, lashings of chrome. Couple of fine hooters on the front as well. Lovely car. Suicide rear hinge doors. You got the pop-up trafficators there as well. Oh, what a Bobby Dazzler that is. We appear to have found Ford Corner. Let's have a quick shufty around here. RS2000 with the Sibi lamps on the front, bubble arches. Very, very purposeful. We've got a Tickford modified Capri 2.8 from 1985 or early 86. Second RS2000 here. Ferrari in the Lambo. And quite a posh, this is a 1300E version of the Ford Escort, and that is a rare sight now, especially in that condition. The slightly wider wheels, I think, are a later fitment, but otherwise that is just as it was built in Dagenham back in the 1970s. But you can see metallic paint, the stripes down the side, you've got a nice little sill trim down there, metallic paint, the E badge, the all important E badge. Let's have a peer in through here. Got wood, quite jazzy interior, trim. Yeah, it's in great condition, this car. Yeah, it's a real treat to see that one. There's the Austin Ruby next to the BSA Scouts, the front wheel drive. I think these are. Let's have a look. Yep, front wheel drive. You can just see the drive shaft behind the springing. Lots of transverse leaf springs on these, actually. Yeah, great little BSA, quite a rare sight. And there's the Austin Ruby alongside it. Elan SE. There's the little Hillman Hunter we saw driving them before. So let's carry on round here. It's quite busy, popular show, this one. But it's such a beautiful setting. You're always going to get lots and lots of people here for this one. GA Roadster here with K9 guard dog on duty. Just walk around the shapely rear of the E-Type Series 1. MGB with roof open. Triumph Stag with roof down. MGA fixed head with roof permanently up. And a magnificent array of badges on the front of this one. Lovely, very shapely car. And here we've got a Riley 9 Monaco of 1934. Let's have a look at the information sheet on this little beauty. I love how the diamond of the Riley badge is reflected in all sorts of things, like the grills, the louvers on the side of the bonnet panel there. It's in like a bit of a diamond shape. And even the windows, if you look at the side windows, there's a bit of a diamond there as well. It sort of dips down and goes up a little bit as well. Just some really lovely details on Rileys of this era. Just wonderful. A very commodious interior for 4 people, probably no more than that. Lovely old seats in there. Very, very nice. Bright orange MGB GT in front of that. The Riley 1.5, the sporty version of, well, the equivalent of the Wolseley 1500, but this is a sporty one with a twin carb, still the 1489cc engine. One of those old stick-on rear window demisters, who remembers those? It's got a Radiomobile radio in this one. We used to have one of those in our old Volvo Amazon in the 1970s. Yeah, quite sporty these, lots of gauges. Again popular in rallying. There's a lovely pre-war Riley. Generations Rally sticker on the door. Of course I did a video all about the Generations Rally passing through Alton Park just a few weeks ago. If you haven't seen that one yet, so it's well worth catching that. Yeah, very nice. And what's this magnificent Austin? An Austin, probably a 12.4 I would have thought. Lots and lots of brass fittings on this one. The big old chunky artillery wheels. Very nice. Folding roof at the back, the Landaulet. I think that's how you pronounce it. Brass door handles. Very swish indeed. We can have a quick peer over the glass. Yeah, it's fantastic though. It's such a great turnout of post-war and pre-war. You know, some shows you go to, you don't see too many pre-war cars, which is a bit of a shame, but here there is a beautiful assortment of cars going right back to the 1920s. There's that lovely Riley with its pre-selector on the side there for picking your next gear of choice, and then you dip the left-hand pedal when you want that gear to engage. Oh, very clever. How lovely is that? Cycle wings as well. Very, very sporty machine. What do we have here? A Vespa 400, I think. I think this is a Vespa 400. I'm sure I chatted to the owner of this one as well at Woodford, at the Avro Heritage Museum, one of their car gatherings, which reminds me, I think that's coming up fairly soon. The tiny little engine in the back there. Super original, this one. Just look how original that paint is. Polished through on the high spots. Yeah. Little indicators on the side, rear hinge doors, the daintiest door handles you've ever seen. Opening roof so we can have a peer in. What an original, what a fantastic little Vespa that is. There's the MGTF, a lovely boat tail Spider, the Carman gear and the D registration, which tells us that was registered in 1966. The flat-nosed Morris Cowley, so this was the replacement for the bull-nose that we've seen a couple of examples of already. I used to have one of these in 1930 or 31 mine was. This is probably about 29 or 30. Mine had the chrome rad. This is nickel, so this could be a year or two older than mine. Yeah, very angular lines, that's one of the sort of the features of these Morrises. The Triumph Roadster there again, demonstrating the dicky seat in the back. And this stunning Bristol. I forget who did the coachwork on this one. Obviously it's not the original coachwork. Beautiful car, the old Bristol 2 litre. The detail, the shape of the headlamps and the rims. It's just a real treat. You really have to just spend a bit of time looking at the detailing on these cars. How you press a little button for the door handle to pop out. It's just lovely. And look at that interior. I'm not sure what's happened to the horn push. And I've never seen Smith's gauges with those what do you call them, the bezels. I've never seen them that deep before. Maybe that's the same as on the more commonly encountered Bristol 400s and so on. I'll have to have a close look next time I see one of those. It's got a Pininfarina badge on the top of the ashtray there, so I think that tells us who did the coachwork on this magnificent machine. Even little details like these little chrome pieces here, just where the door shuts. I mean, totally unnecessary, but shows that someone has really thought about this.
I'm glad to see you looking so well. Yeah, you're looking well, fellas.
Right, let's carry on round the back of the Star. There's the DB7 convertible. Those were based loosely on the floor pan of the XJS, the Jaguar XJS, and the magnificent Citroen DS. What an amazing car that is. Left-hand drive, this one. Look at the interior appointments in this magnificent machine. Column change. Extremely comfortable in the back with acres of legroom. Yeah. Isn't that lovely? With the rear window blind inside the back, indicator set into the back of the roof. What an incredible car. You can hear the Model T is running. And these usually have what they call trembler coils to provide the spark. MGC Roadster. There's the little car, standard 10, it is a standard, 1934 standard 10 deluxe. It helpfully says in the window. It's always appreciated when there's a bit of information in the window. Yeah, lovely to see a little pre-war saloon out here today. Another sporting Riley alongside that. And here's that magnificent Talbot. These are beautiful cars. Very, very nice. Look how the running boards blend in with the back of the front mudguards. A beautiful car. Super 911, early 1970s 911 Carrera. That's a bit of kit, that is. On the end of the row here we have a Triumph TR6 and the Droop Snoot Vauxhall Firenze. This one will be familiar to anyone who's watched some of the Crew Heritage videos and possibly the last Combermere meeting video as well. This one lives not too far from us. Got a Mustang Fastback alongside that. What year is that one? Can't see. An Escort 1300 Sport. A pair of Sunbeam Tigers. Lovely car. 260 cubic inch, I think. Very, very nice too. And the Alpine alongside that, probably 1725. Oh, another Tiger here. So a trio of Tigers and the Alpine on which it was based. Look at that. Very, very swish XK120 fixed head coupe. If you've been hanging around the old classic car channel for a while, you remember the very, very project spec XK120 that a friend of mine has bought. I must try and get an update on that sometime. What's the information on this then? 1952. Went to the USA in 1951. Lived many years in Texas. Yeah, just pause the video if you want to read the screen info. Yeah, this one's been around a bit. Beautiful car. Almost, the colour also reminds me of Aston Martin. Maybe slightly paler. Got a very green RS2000 here. An Escort Mexico, the Mark II Mexico, a two-door car. And over here, the replica Jaguar C-Type, which was the XK120C, the competition version of the XK120 when these were first developed. Back on the back row again, bit of a Wallace and Gromit tribute here with the Austin A35 van. We've got a cellar full of Wallace and Gromit memorabilia. Hasn't seen light of day for many, many years. There's a little midget 1500. Behind that, the Jaguar 420G, the 4.2 litre version of the Mark X, the replacement for the Mark X. The early cars were 3.8. This is the 4.2. Not many other differences, although it did gain the chrome strip down the side, which differentiates the 420G from the slightly earlier car. These were big cars when they came out, but it'd be interesting to park one of these next to a modern SUV and just see how they compare, because this probably would be dwarfed by it, especially it's still quite low, even though it's a very wide car. You can see just how much the doors curve out from the base of the screen. But height-wise, it would be dwarfed by, well, pretty much anything now, I think. Yeah, beautiful car. Not many of these get preserved because they don't tend to fit in the average domestic garage, which is a bit of a shame. Next up, the Rover P5, the 3 litre. This is a 3 litre car before they fitted the 3.5 Rover V8 engine into them. Saloons or coupes are available. This is the coupe. You can always tell the V8s because they have the extra lamp below the headlight there. Moggy next to that. And a Y Series MG, a YA or a YB on the end of the row here. Bigger wheels. I'm thinking this is the YA. I think they put slightly smaller wheels on the YB. Let's have a look. Yes, YA 1950, same year as our V8 Pilot. I'm sure they went to slightly smaller diameter wheels on the revised YB. There's a beautiful Hillman Minx Californian. We saw this one driving in before. The 2-door fixed head coupe. Really stylish looking car based on the Hillman Minx, of course. This one from 1955. Lovely two-tone paint and very distinctive wraparound rear windows. Of course, made in 3 pieces because the technology wasn't around then to curve that in one go. Yeah, very distinctive car. I think mechanically they're pretty much the same as the Minx, but just a whole lot more stylish, presumably designed with the American export market in mind. Export was the priority for most of the British car manufacturers post World War II. Always lovely interiors I find in Roots Group cars. Really, really nice trim. I think these windows sort of go down like that when you wind them down. Little winders in the back there. Oh, great little car, this one. Let's carry on along here. Series 1 Land Rover, quite an early one with the lamps behind the grille. They came out in 48. The Austin 6 of 1934. Very handsome. An immaculate black E-Type Roadster alongside. 67 registration. And over here, a magnificent Fiat Topolino, one of the facelifted cars with a slightly different front end. This one dates to 1954, the 500c Belvedere, the Giardiniera, the estate car version. What a bonny little car that is. There's the information. Isn't that just stunning? What a fantastic little car that is. Look at the folding roof and the frame. Isn't that just wonderful? Room for 4, maybe 5 if you've got little people to go in the back. And quite a lot of space in the back here too. Oh. It's not a little gem. Sliding side windows as well. Many louvers. And a tiny little engine. Tucked away right at the front. A Weber carburettor. Very dinky little Magneti Marelli distributor just there. 4 tiny cylinders. And the radiator behind as opposed to in front. So that's quite interesting. So you've got the pulley at the front there with the fan belt on, and that goes through there and powers the mechanical fan to keep the coolant cool in this radiator here. And there's your fuel tank. XK150 Austin Mini Cooper. It's a 67, twin carburetors. In amazing condition there. A lovely Rover, Rover 16 drop head coupe, no less. Salmons and Sons. There was one of these at the NEC just a few weeks ago, the NEC restoration show, really original one. Where have we seen this one? Possibly at Western Park, maybe? But real beauty, this one. Rear hinge doors, again the trafficators set into the back panel. Seating for 4 in great comfort. Lovely. The Viking ship mascot. Badge rather on the front, and there's the mascot. Bits and pieces for sale in front of this 59 Corvette. Is there anything we need? Quite a late MGA Roadster, 1600 Mark II. Stunning 1930s Lagonda here. Again, real quality bit of kit, this one. And on the end here, MGTF 1500. Oh, the local Cortinas here. You alright? Next to the related Lotus Elan, a whole assortment of slightly later Lotuses or Loti, I'm not quite sure which. But we'll stick to the older cars. More fantastic Elans. The Esprit Turbo and the original Lotus 7 down here. What a cracker this is. How far forward is that engine? A twin cam engine. I bet that flies. More Esprit Elans of various age. There's that Eclat. Let's go past the Elan Sprint. Very nice car. And on the end here, an Elan Plus 2 in bright yellow, our favourite colour. And we go to the back row, and there's that lovely Triumph GT6. I think it's a Mark II, but with the earlier front on it, all on bolts, so it's fairly easy swap. I remember there was a Mark I I spotted, parked up, abandoned, almost down the side of a garage in Welshpool in the late 1980s. I really wish I'd pursued that one. And then we have a whole variety of classic Jensens and Jensen Heelys down here. Will we have any four-wheel drive FFs, I wonder? It's glorious. CV8. You see this one, this is quite a regular sight at many of the car meetings that we get to. Just a real beauty this is. Mostly fiberglass body. Of course by then, the later cars, they went to steel bodies. But these are mainly fiberglass, very good quality fiberglass. A huge lift up front on these. The doors are skinned in aluminium. I think the floors are steel. But most of the outer bodywork is fiberglass. Very distinctive car. This is probably its best angle, I think. Just fantastic. Let's carry on round here. I tried to buy one of these a couple of years ago. It was in a barn over in the northeast. But the owner couldn't make up his mind what he wanted for it. Then the next thing I knew, he'd put it into auction. There's the Jensen SP, the 6-pack version of the regular Interceptor. And this is the predecessor to the CV8. The Jensen 541 with a big Austin straight 6 engine in this. Lovely car, the 541R. You've got the rotating panel in the front there to moderate your cooling depending on what you needed to do. The very final examples of these just had a regular grille, as I remember. Let's have a look at the info. 193 of these were produced between 58 and 60.
See if you can find me a Ferrari, George.
Up here on the bank, a whole gaggle of Morgans. We saw most of these arriving a little earlier today. A beautiful setting for a gathering of old cars. And here are all the Corvettes gathered here in front of Gawsworth Hall. And as backdrops go, that's pretty good. Alright, so carry on. There's another big display field just over the back. So stick with me, make another cup of tea, because there are plenty more vintage and classic cars to see here today at Gawsworth Hall. There's a gaggle of MGs over here. Let's have a look at those before we disappear. And there's a grey Fergie tractor as well, so we're always fond of an old grey Fergie. Super original, that one. Very nice. And many of these MGs we saw arriving just an hour or so ago. And still coming in, the Chevrolet Camaro. And over there I can just see a Lotus Europa.
I just said, as long as you're happy, so you have a Ferrari.
The Rolls Royces and the Bentleys are all gathered over here, and just look how full this field is. I'll probably revisit the Rolls and the Bentley display a little bit later, but I think the priority is for the mixed parking area over there, and there are still cars pouring in. I'll try and feature as many of them as we can. If I miss your car out, I apologise in advance. And we've got the Wolseley register display, hence all the Wolseleys we saw driving in before. Fantastic, I do like these. Daimler Interloper and the Wolseley 6.
Expecting heavy rain.
All manner of pre and post-war Wolseleys round here. Most of those we saw coming in. There's a Panther. Got a bullnose, quite an early one. Under bonnet view. Great, very dependable engine in these. Wolseley's still parking up. So let's carry on along the back row here. Make sure we don't miss anything unless we really help it. Moggy Traveller. Inline A series engine there. Probably 1098 by this point in time on an F plate, yeah, 1098cc. And that's quite a rare Ford along here next to the Granada Gear estate. This is the Squire, the estate version of the 100E. There was the Escort, and the Squire was a slightly more market version of it. The earlier Squires had wood, sort of thin wood strips down the side. But after a while they dropped that. The body shell is basically that of the Thames 300E van, although that had two sort of side hinged rear doors, whereas the Escort and the Squire had this split tailgate arrangement. But quite a rare car now, very practical. I'm a big fan of old estate cars. Yeah, beautiful trim as well. That's just in lovely condition. As is this Mini Minor, the Morris badged version of the Mark I Mini. I like the little appendage there to avoid drips on your paintwork. I don't know if you can see it, but this has got those switch extensions. See on the little Lucas flick switches on the dash? It's got those extensions. You'd often see those on sort of the Works Mini Cooper rally cars, that kind of thing, just to make them a little bit easier to flick without having to stretch so far. What a beauty this is. Next to that, MGA fixed head coupe. Ferrari, what's that one? 348. Mark I MX-5 or Unos, as this would have originally been sold in Japan and was then imported here in more recent years. Got a little Caterham 7-ish, I think. Yeah, Caterham.
So the way the paint shop was designed, therefore, basically that was
Work in progress, Morris Minor here.
then you fully mask it, and then all the way around it.
Of course, brush painting. That's quite a common option back in the day with enthusiastic owners working on their cars at the weekend, every weekend, servicing them, fixing them and improving them. and brush painting was a very, very common sight. Intriguingly, the Series 2 Minor has the illuminated radiator badge of a Wolseley on it. What does that mean? Has it been re-engined, or did the owner just like Wolseleys? Who knows? Yeah, very interesting little car. Beware trafficators in use. So I'm guessing the green is the original shade, or maybe it's the grey under the green. I'm not going to go picking at it. But yeah, many layers of brushed on paint here, so take your pick. I've got a Corvette, a Maserati, and an Alvis TD21, the revised version of the TD21. And as I've mentioned once or twice in various videos, if you haven't seen the video I did of that huge Alvis collection, the barn find cars, go and check that one out on the channel. Try the site search, or the channel search rather, and you'll come across that video I did a few months ago, looking at an incredible assortment of barn find Elvises in varying states of repair. And over here, Triumph Vitesse, that's convertible Vitesse, and a lovely low slung Riley here. What a sporty little number that is, very low roofline, and again you can see the diamond shape of the Riley badge kind of reflected in the louvers there, and in the side windows. It's a bit easier to see it on this lighter coloured car, but you can see sort of the bit of a dip there, just echoing the shape of the Riley badge. Yeah, what a stylish little car that is. Let's carry on along here. Got the 2.5 litre Daimler, the SP250. Fiberglass bodied, very distinctive styling. Super original interior. Yeah, pretty wild looking car. Take the badges off and you would never really guess that that was a Daimler. Although I suppose the little D cast into the rear lights around is a bit of a clue, but you know what I mean. Very nice. The Marcos. Sometimes Ford powered, sometimes Volvo powered, but all very, very low. The TR6. Another 420G, a magnificent 420G with highly appropriate registration number on it. Again, 4.2 straight 6 XK engine. Really amazing cars, really neat. Cream MGTF alongside the Jaguar. We've got a de-pumpered XK140 here, and a military Jeep over here. So many of these have been restored now. Many of them have got all new bodies. You can buy complete body tubs for these. This one goes back to 1942.
None of the tyres are really...
Okay, let's carry on down row 2. MGB is joined by MGA, and a stunning Alpha here, the GTV. A very appropriate registration on this one as well, 6 GTV. So is this a 1750 or the 2000? It's the 105 series car. Very swish it is too, it's a 1750. Just a beautiful looking car, I think, really tasty. MGAs are well represented here today as well. And I do like the Radiomobile radio in this example. I must get an old radio maybe working in the Pilot. They did come with a radio as standard built into the dash, but I don't think the one that's in there works. I know the gent who bought my old Ford Anglia, the Citibank Anglia, he used to restore old car wirelesses for a business, so maybe I'll have to drop him a line one day. Anyway, next to the left-hand drive, a left-hand drive TR7 drop head. We have the pagoda-roofed Mercedes SL, and unlike the examples that we saw down at Bicester, here's my youthful assistant. Ooh, what have you bought?
I've been restricted today.
A filtrate. Oof, good
Well, that'll
grief.
clean off probably.
Yeah, that'll clean up nicely, won't it?
Only the one. Top.
£12. Well, you can't.
Another one if you want it.
Can't really go wrong there, can you? Edward Joy and Sons Limited of Leeds. Yeah, nice find. That'll go in. Ned or Fred the Shed probably.
Probably.
Yeah, as I was saying, we saw a couple of these down at Bicester, but they had the soft tops or the roofs folded down completely, so you couldn't see how they got the name pagoda roof. But as this one has the hard top, you can see a bit of a pagoda shape going on there, and that's how these SLs got their name. Okay, got another BMW E9 Coupe. We saw the 3-litre CSL before. Now, which model is this? There was the 2.8. Was one of them. This is a 3-litre CS. So 3-litre straight 6 Coupe. Great lines, beautiful shape, Alpina alloy wheels. Just a very handsome car. Huge windows, you can really see out of these cars. And that's where I think they're going wrong on so many modern cars. The fact that they have to fit reversing cameras because they put such silly tiny windows on them. And the original dealer decal in the back window. Much modified MGB over here. And the successor to the E9, the 6 Series Coupe. This is quite an early one, a 633 CSI. I can't remember which E this is. Was it E24? Maybe. They did change though. They did change, I think. The early ones and the late ones look very similar, but I think they changed a lot under the skin. Well, this is the 635 we saw at wherever it was recently. That's later. This is early. This is one of the first, I think. What do we have here? The Hillman Imp Californian, a fastback Imp, very rakish. Of course, the Imp was dreamt up as Roots' answer to the BMC Mini, but the Mini was never offered with this really rakish coupe-like styling engine in the back as always. Ooh, very stylish little car, this one. Love the colour as well. And again, a lovely Roots interior. Does just look very, very appealing indeed. What do you reckon to Imps, young man?
I like this variant.
The Californian,
like
yeah.
But is it the same wheelbase?
Probably, yeah, I would have thought so. It's just a lower roof line and sort of sleeker roof line, I think, isn't it?
I do like the look of that though.
Yeah.
Really nice inside as well.
This is a super low mileage Hillman, and I have found the owner. He also owns a 4CV, so he's obviously cut from the right cloth. But what were you just telling me about this incredible little Imp Californian?
Well, it's just a very low mileage Imp Californian, you know, 180 miles.
180 miles. Are those the original cross splies on it?
No,
they've replaced that. Camax.
No, they've been
replaced those.
Replaced because of age.
Yes. Where did you find that?
The plastic seat covers still on it. Well, it is what it is.
Yeah,
It's a very low mileage.
So someone just bought it and put it straight away?
I have no idea.
Really?
There's
so we don't know where it's been?
Of various.
Wow.
But
that's an amazing survival, that.
It wasn't registered when I bought it.
Was it not?
It's unregistered.
It must have just sat in a dealership on display somewhere.
Just don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know.
It's nice to see a low mileage car that's getting used actually.
Yeah.
Because usually they're just all on like trailers and stuff.
Yes.
Well, it's not really getting used because it's only done 180 miles now.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Museums, it's nice to see. Wow.
You got all the original stickers in the window. A triplex zebra zone windscreen. Got a little. There's a little decal as well for the choke control. Tyre pressures. Apologies for any reflections.
It's open if you want to get.
Would you take a look at that? 100 odd miles from new. just as it would have been in the dealership all those years ago. 179.9 miles. Wow, that is such a special little car. The seats, the carpets, still got plastic on the back seats there. Isn't it just incredible? This must have been sat in a dealership on display maybe for many years. But just look at the sills, the hinge pillars, the door pillars, the doors. What an incredible survivor car that is.
What's at your point?
It looks a bit matte because I sprayed it with that
spraying oil around
crap stuff.
Yeah, that's just as it would have left the factory. I mean, if these were made, were these, because I know some Imps were made up at Linwood, weren't they, and then they came back down, so were these, was it the same with these as well, was it? Right.
And this came along, so...
Well, what a treat to see that, 179 miles. And look at this, the mighty Citroen CX on a Y plate. Nice mid-green TR6 here.
I think that's a really nice colour.
It is a nice colour, as is this TR4A. 1965. I started this end.
Oh, okay.
So I started over there. We've got a Daimler with many, many bonnet louvers added in, just for a bit of extra cooling. So the 2.5 litre V8 engine, the Edward Turner engine, as fitted to that SP250 that we were looking at before. Another Triumph TR4 next to the Pontiac. Here's a Lotus Europa, which was a fairly late arrival here today. Very, very low Renault gearboxes in those. Lovely Aston DB6 Volante. And on the end here, Austin Healey. Looking very, very racy indeed. The windscreen does fold flat on these, well spotted.
Leather straps. That's actually really cool. Wow, nice chrome strip on the early interior as well.
Let's continue our way around here, past Sunbeam Alpine. So a quick peek at its 4-cylinder engine here. Very nice too. The Moggy, little Traveller. The Rover P6, the 2200 SC for single carburettor. Lovely individual rear seats in these. Always look very inviting. Correct headgear. Yeah. Very advanced car for its time. Would have been really advanced had they pursued their idea of going with gas turbine propulsion. Very bonny little Austin Allegro here, late 70s. And a couple of minor Travellers on the end here. Somewhat modified Anglia EO4A on the end, alongside 2.8i Capri. Very colourful TVR, very, very fruity sounding TVR. Mark III Ford Zodiac. And the Mercedes that we saw driving in before, the 65 Merc. The SL, here's that Alvis TA21. Just a real variety of cars. And look at this is actually probably one of the rarest cars here, the Vauxhall Victor FC series, 1967. Fairly local registration number. Let's have a look at the information in the window. The paint on this looks really original actually. 1967 Vauxhall Victor 101, unrestored survivor, 36,000 miles on the clock. Fun to drive, no power steering, no power brakes, never had a radio or any other gadget, so very little to go wrong. If you'd like to buy this blast from the past, well, there you go. What a treat to see this. Seriously rare car, the Victor 101. Next to the Rover 3.5 we have the lovely long rad Ford Model Y, the Ford 8 of the mid-1930s. Ford 8 horsepower, the RAC rating, which was used for taxation purposes and was a calculation based on the bore of the cylinders. 1930. Oh, there you go, 1935. Yeah.
That's 63 is the E24.
Is it E24? Was it?
Because my BMW friend has told me.
Yeah, these slightly later model Ys had the longer radiator, and the starter handle hole is down there, so they had to have a bit of a dip in the front bumper.
I'm so happy to see one of these. Like, I've never seen one of these at a show for like years.
What, Model Y?
Yes.
You've not seen one for a while?
No, hardly.
No.
Like, there's hardly any of them around at like shows.
No, true.
There's like some on eBay for like
Got a
500
6-volt
quid,
battery over there, that's good to see. And you keep your tools in this little compartment on the bulkhead.
An actually like really nice one at a show.
It is nice, yeah. So you got the Zenith carb, there's a little mechanical fuel pump down there. So your fuel comes in. We usually have a hand priming lever, but oh yes, it does have a hand primer underneath. Pump your fuel up into here, and off you go. Really, really tidy example of the breed.
I love the headlights as well.
Yeah, they are nice, aren't they? Great little Morris Mini Minor. Second one of those we've seen here today. BGT, fairly early Series 1, fixed head. And many, many parts for sale on the floor in front of this Riley Kestrel, Irish registered Riley Kestrel. Dolly. And here the XJ Coupe. I think this is a 5.3C, if I caught the badge correctly, as it drove in earlier. Let's have a little closer look. Like I say, I think it was a 5.3C. We'll have a look at the back in just a moment. It's redlined at 5. I thought it was higher for the V12s. So let's just have a look. Yeah, 4.2C. Obviously need to get my eyes tested. That makes sense because the V12s did have a higher rev limiter compared to the 6s. Manuals and autos were available. This has got the standard Borg-Warner automatic gearbox, 3-speed box. A very handsome motor car indeed. I remember my old music teacher in secondary school had one of these in the 1980s. It's got the Kent alloy wheels on this one. Production of these was delayed for quite a while when these were new in the mid-1970s because they had awful problems trying to make the door glass here seal with the rear glass pane there, and this sort of folds down, winds down inside the rear wing. A very handsome machine indeed. These were based on the short wheelbase. The Series 1s were available, the Series 1 saloons, because they never did a coupe version of the Series 1s, but the Series 1 saloons were available either with standard or long wheelbases. And the first of the Series 2s could also be ordered with a short wheelbase, but not for very long, I don't think. But the Series 2 Coupe, like we're looking at here, these were all based on the short wheelbase XJ platform. Jaguar or Daimler versions were available, like I say, 6 or 12 cylinders.
In your car, inside.
Here's that incredible Chevy Corvair van with the engine way back under there somewhere. These are pretty mad. It's got the West Coast, like the California West Coast style mirrors on the side. Side access doors, twin doors.
Would you like the door open?
Yeah, please, yeah. Here we have a quick peek inside. The owner just passed the keys over, said, help yourself, go and have a look inside. So let's admire this incredible American panel van. So you can see how the floor sort of rises up. Hope the camera's picking that up. So you've got a stepped floor in the back to clear the flat 6 engine nestled under there. Yeah, what an incredible car this is. Also, Chevy Corvairs were infamous, especially the first series cars. Ralph Nader, safety campaigner, he was not very impressed with the handling of the early Corvairs in particular. And he brought out a book called Unsafe at Any Speed. And whether that led to the revised version, the Phase 2 version of the Corvair, I'm not quite sure, but the Phase 2 car did look very different compared to the Phase 1s. Maybe they did also attend to the slightly wayward handling characteristics, because obviously the flat 6 out the back. I think it had independent rear suspension as well, so there might be a bit of a handful in extreme conditions, but this van is just incredible. What a stunning black Mercedes we have here, one of the Ponton era Mercedes saloons, the 4-door. Some of these were diesel, some of them were petrol. The 220A Ponton of 1955.
That XJS,
Well, that's stunning.
it's got a manual.
We have a V12 manual XJS. It's just been pointed out to me. Manuals were never offered on that era of XJS. In fact, only the very, very first XJSs in the mid-70s were offered with a manual, and not for very long. So that must be a home conversion. There's that SAAB 96 V4, late one with the big chunky rubber safety bumpers. These go back way into the 60s, and even the late 50s, I think, with the bullnose cars. XK 150 fixed head coupe. Very bonny little Morris here on the end, the Series 2, so mid 50s, 55-ish. This is when the A Series was introduced, the overhead valve A Series engine lifted out of the A30, the Austin A30. And the previous miners had the little side valve engine in from the Morris 8 Series E. And on the end here, a Jaguar Mark II. Don't forget this bit here, this part row, headed by a magnificent Bentley. Is that an S1? The Bentley Continental, I think it probably is. And over here, great little A35 van. And next to that, a Singer Gazelle, the Singer version of the Hillman Minx. This is quite a late one, with a slightly squarer roofline compared to the earlier cars. The earlier ones had the wraparound rear windows. Yeah, I do like these. And again, lovely Roots interior. Very nice car. Apparently the door is open. Let's have a quick look. Thank you to the owner. Isn't that lovely? All these beautiful original door trims with the wood cappings. Really nice. Light and airy cabin. Bit of wood, really smart seats, and these are in incredible condition. The old lap belts. 4-speed manual box, 4 on the floor. And the original key even. We'll carry on along here past the MG, the de-bumpered Triumph and the 1360 convertible. Pair of VWs here, one a split window, like that one. And this one, the later bay window, the replacement for the splitty. The Daimler 250. The V8 250. TR6. Triumph Stag. And the very shapely Fiat 124 Spider, left-hand drive. They were all left-hand drive. These were made for quite a long time. I mean, this one's on an R plate, but arguably it looks like a much older car. A great Austin Cambridge, the A60 Cambridge, 1622cc, 1965 this one. Two-tone paint, I think they're all pretty much two-tone, I think. There may have been some special order cars. Love the seat cover. Old Kangol safety belts in there. Yeah, great big solid old cars these were. Opening quarter lights in the rear doors, not just the front doors. That's a nice little feature of these cars. The design penned by Pininfarina, hence Farina. And at the end of the row here, a Prefect, a Ford 100E Prefect. And this neat little special based on Triumph. I think it's Triumph running gear under this one. Inspired by the mid-50s Ferraris. And over here we have, is it an Anglesey registration EY, another Pagoda Mercedes. Gives us a chance to have a quick peer inside at the magnificent appointments. Yeah, very swish. Very nice car indeed. What's this Lancia here? Which model of Lancia are we looking at here? Is this the Flaminia? It's the sort of car that you see so infrequently that I tend to forget what it is. Very nice. I remember the barn that I got the comma from, there was one of these rotting away next to it. I had to climb on the roof of it to get a proper look at the comma. It was pretty rough there. Got a Piper. This was designed by race driver David Piper. Pretty wild looking car. Bright blue MG, Mark II Ford console. This one comes, I think, from North Manchester. I've seen this one at Woodford. That incredible Land Rover ambulance, Series 2 or a 2A. I like the little lamp at the top. It's a very bonny machine. Lots of room in the back of there. Should it start raining, should the worst happen and it starts raining, you can always go and hide in the back. And the magnificent Leyland Princess. Remember those in Reeds of Cheadle, the old local BL garage. Jaguar MG, XK140 fixed head coupe. Very nice. The 140s introduced these much bigger bumpers compared to the 120. Got the Rover P4, the 100 here, with many badges on the front. Lovely two-tone green car, 1962, 6-cylinder, 2.6 litres. Beauty. And we've got this fire van here, MGB GT V8, the 3.5 litre Rover engine shoehorned under the bonnet. It actually fits very, very nicely actually. Plenty of room around it. A bit tight on the exhaust manifolds. Yeah. Really neat car. Let's carry on down here past the B, the Austin Healey Sprite, a distinctive TR6. There's plenty more classics to go, many bits and pieces for sale. Next to this very bonny Austin 1100, the Viva HC that is featured on the channel before. How clean is this? It always amazes me the condition that people keep their cars in. Put me to shame, I'm afraid. It's very rare that I have the bonnet up on any of my cars. This great ex-military Morris we've seen at various events, including the North Wales Classic Car Show, bless you. And next to the Stag we have a Porsche and the front-wheel drive V4 powered Lancia Fulvia. About 1971, left-hand drive, beautiful car. And this is one thing that I disagree with my youthful assistant over. I much prefer the factory bodies compared to the Zagatos, the sport Zagato that everyone gets all excited about, but I think these are just so much better looking. Let me know in the comments if you agree. Let's carry on down here. E-Type bonnet raised, E-Type bonnet not raised, both 2+2s. So slightly longer wheelbase, much longer doors and seats in the back. That's the main difference, a higher roof line as well compared to your regular fixed head coupes. There's a big straight six, triple SU carburetors. A big subframe coming out of the front.
Is this the air intake? Is this the air cleaner?
Yeah, that's the air box, yeah. It's huge, isn't it? Like a dustbin. Yeah.
I've never really looked at it. Wonder what it's like for the V12s if it's like that.
Let's carry on down here to the end of the row. Not a Morris 1000 convertible. And on this row, a stunning Triumph Spitfire 4 Mark II, 1967. Super original car, this one. This one was at the Woodford Gathering a year or two back. But it is just a beautifully original car. And it's great to see one on the old steel wheels as well. So many of them have got wires or mini lights. But it's really nice to see this super original car in such great condition. We'll carry on along here past the Lotus XL, Stag, a little Suzuki Cappuccino, a little pint-sized Tourer, a TVR Chimera alongside that. And if you've been watching the channel for a while, you will have seen this on the channel before. I think the Gawsworth 23 video features this amazing little forward control comma pickup, drop side truck, but as if I wasn't going to feature it again. What a great little thing that is. And then here past the TR and the XJ6 Series 3, the Pininfarina styled. They took the Series 2 that came before and they needed to eke a little bit more life out of the XJ design until such time as the XJ40 was ready. So Pininfarina was brought in just to freshen up the styling of the Series 2. They raised the roofline a little bit, squared it off a little bit, different bumpers, different backlights and so on. And it was a very successful refresh of the original XJ design. MGB Roadster. Triumph Herald 1360. Just try Capri 2, the 2 litre S, the Morris 1000, the 2-door Morris 1000. And on the end here with a very similar engine under its bonnet, the Austin A35. Let's carry on over here. Looks like the TR register. Yep, TR register. So we will see a myriad of TRs from TR3A. I think that's the earliest we can see a TR3A. Another green one over there. TR6s, TR4A with a Surrey roof. This one will be familiar to anyone who's watched some of the previous Combermere meeting videos. Some of the cars do tend to pop up at quite a few of the shows we go to, and others not so much. TR5 made a beautiful sound when that one came in before. There's another 3A. Drophead TR7, TR4, stunning TR6 here, 4A, 3A, this is a familiar car, lovely early left-hand drive, TR4, what a beautiful interior, and that steering wheel. So many cars get modified. You know, people put wood rims, steering wheels on things and all that kind of thing, but it's just beautiful to see this one looking so correct. All the original seats, carpets, the radio, just a beautiful looking car. And the family resemblance between the TR4 and the later TR5 is pretty obvious. This has the Burberry 2.5 litre straight 6 under the bonnet. TR6 here, TR250 over the back there, so that is the American market, the American spec version of the British TR5. I'll have a quick peer under here. These were equipped with carburetors from new. The American spec cars were all on carbs. The British cars are the Lucas PI, the fuel injection. This one has been converted to Webers. I think usually they would have, was it Strombergs possibly, something like that, but this one's definitely modified and uprated with triple Webers. I imagine they sound fantastic. The Triumph GT6 Mark III. Still the good old straight 6 engine, this with twin Strombergs. Yeah, very swish car. Many people refer to these as the mini E-Type. Great engine accessibility. You can just sit on the front wheel and fiddle to your heart's content. You've got the Dizzy there, coil there, all nice and easy to get at. Surely this is the easiest car ever to change the spark plugs on. Just amazing engine accessibility. You've got a little brake servo there, master cylinders over there, battery on this side here. So easy to work on. Of course, derived from the old Triumph Herald. GT40 with its rear clamshell open, revealing the mighty power plant. So what the story is with this engine here. It's a TR4, but things don't look entirely TR4 on here. Twin Webers, an Offenhauser. Offie, more often associated with tuning parts for the big old American flathead V8s and so on. So yeah, quite an interesting setup. But where's that rocker cover come from? Just have a quick look around Rolls-Royce and Bentley corner. Very impressive looking Bentley Mulsanne there, the turbo.
Get out of there.
Continental GT. One of the Derby era Bentleys of the mid-30s. Lovely Marshall lamps on the front of this Bentley. Lagonda. I do quite like these early shadows now, and the Bentley T-Series equivalent, of course. Very handsome, restrained styling. Manner of wonderful Rolls Royces and Bentleys here today. Here's one of the Bentley T-Series, the T2. So this is the equivalent of the Silver Shadow 2 with the bigger bumpers and the improved handling. The bonnet raised. Let's have a quick look over here.
Small scale stuff.
A whole gaggle of midgets and Austin Healey sprites over here. Don't want to miss these out.
There's always different cars on Heartbeat, and she's got one of them.
There's one for sale here, 1973 with a 1275 A series engine. Hey, we have a channel supporter here. All the TVRs have congregated over here. Well, I say all, most of them have. Public inconveniences. Super little bullnose Morris is heading over this way. We have American corner over here, including this amazing Ford LTD wagon from 1968, a Fiesta Mark I, a Dodge Charger RT, incredible black paint finish. There's the big Buick we filmed coming in, and this incredible BelAir wagon. That'll look good in the garage next to the pickup.
All of it to the chassis engine and everything.
There's one thing that I want to do in a car at some point in my life. Yeah, you could definitely do that.
Ford Thunderbird, late 50s Chevrolet Apache pickup, presumably on air suspension. And the Mustang here on the end. Quite a gaggle of TVRs in attendance, plus a Series 2 E-Type 2+2 over there. The TVR Griffith, the late Chimera. Just so many different shapes and sizes.
Yeah, that one's cool. I like the other one.
Well, they do say it's all about nostalgia, and here we have The Godfather, and this is a toy that I played with many times, hours and hours during the 1970s, one of these. I've still got the remains in mine, but it's not in great shape. I just saw this one on the Auto Jumble stall here at Gawsworth Hall, so I thought I'll have to have that. Just have a quick look at the many Porsches that are here today, mainly modern. But there are some old gems here, including these 356s. Isn't that just a lovely looking car?
Line.
What do we have over here? A pre-war Morris commercial. How could I resist this original reel of oldie worldy cable? Lovely thing that'll look really great hanging up on the wall, and the wire. I mean, this is expensive stuff to buy this, so 10 quid for this reel. That was definitely coming home with me. Yeah, very useful stuff. Another grey Fergie and Lost in 7 special.
We're keeping him sweet.
Yet another beautiful Alvis. This is a slightly later car compared to the one we were looking at before. Either a TE or a TF21. Stacked headlamps, another giveaway. Stunning metallic paint. Beautiful coach built car. And look at this screen arrangement here for the back seats. I've never seen one of those before. What a beautiful interior. Just proper craftsman built interior. Holly approves. Just look at the super tight panel gaps on that. Ding dong. Back admiring the Vespa again. High speed tyres.
Lots of bends.
Let's go for a quick wander down the drive and just record some of the cars leaving this magnificent setting. Maybe not the diesel Audi.
away in a minute. Right.
Standoff between Bentley and Chevrolet. I spy Citroen XM in the car park.
Oh, not for another 2 weeks yet. At the end of this month, we've got the summer half term.
There goes that beautiful Elvis. And the Silver Shadow 2, or no, the Bentley T2 just behind, very, very similar colour. I wonder whose this was. Next up, V8 powered TR7 drop head. And there's that incredible hand painted Morris Minor. How great is that? What an amazing machine.
Email him. When you think, how many? What? Yeah.
Riley departing. What a cracker that is. Aston makes way for Austin A35 van. Cracking toast grommet. TR6 and Morgan depart. There's that great little Vauxhall Victor, the Victor 101. There's that E9. A left-hand drive Pagoda.
Viva.
We saw them arrive, we saw them depart. Suzuki Cappuccino, followed by the mighty Buick. Couldn't be more different, those two. The big waffly V8. The Porsche 912, beautiful colour. The 420G. Love to see an XK with a rear wheel spat still in place. What a handsome machine those XK 150s are. Wow. This is more my kind of pace. Oh, I spy classic SAAB 900. That's always a good thing. 16S. Oof, nice. Minus rear spoiler. Austin Mini Mark 1. Here cometh the Vauxhall Firenze, the Droop Snoot Firenze. It's 2.3 slant 4 engine. What a swish motor car for a day like this. And here is that stunning Pininfarina bodied Bristol 2 litre. What a cracker that is, complete with BRDC badge on the front as well. What a stunner. Lovely Singer 9 Coupe. Here comes the Piper. Here, the MGYA from 1950 in a very fetching shade of green. Original registration too, which is good to see. Here comes the Star, built in Wolverhampton. Next we have Austin Healey, 1966. I never realised that drains were handed. There's our lovely Wolseley, followed by the Singer Gazelle. Great little car. There goes the Invicta, followed by Triumph Roadster, XK120, and the mighty Vet. There goes one of the Jensen Interceptors here today. There's that 55 Chevrolet BelAir wagon. That's fantastic. Here's one of Mrs. OCC's favourite, a lovely little Fiat Giardiniera based on the Topolino. If I had a spare hand, I would doff my hat. And the mighty Ford LTD. There goes the Austin 7 Ruby. There goes the A60 Cambridge. Here comes the comma. Second of the Jaguar 420Gs with Bentley behind. Or as it rolls with the Bentley style lamps. We shall see. Yes. The XK150 departs, as does 67 Moggy, Jensen. Ring ding ding ding, the two-stroke SAAB.
It's only for Chinese market. Yeah, okay. For instance, the Chinese because we are testing so this car was the first to go. It's smart to put it. I mean, first one, you just convert from
Silent. Still plenty more magnificent motor cars departing Gawsworth Hall. What a fantastic day it's been. We were so lucky with the weather as well. All the forecasts this morning were showing a big blob of serious rain and storms. That's a regular at many of the local events. But yeah, the weather forecast this morning was looking terrible. A huge blob of storms and lightning were set to call by here around about lunchtime. So the fact we've got away with it, and it's in fact really, really nice still. It's just so lucky. Magnificent and Lagonda.
thank you. Because it'll be about 400 probably.
And there's a little Wolseley 1100. Right, well, that's most of the cars departed now. It's been a phenomenal day. The weather gods were very, very much on our side, so thank you very much for watching. I'll include a link to the 2023 Gawsworth Hall video at the end of this one if you haven't already seen it, and it's more of the same but a completely different assortment of vintage and classic cars, so it's well worth watching that if you haven't seen it already. So thanks so much for watching this one. Please take a look around. If you're new to the channel, please give it a like, subscribe, all that kind of thing, because it really helps, and there'll be many more videos along very, very soon. So bye for now.